The MCU is officially back because of what we saw earlier today. We saw one of the biggest news. We saw one of the most shocking news. And I'm not even gonna lie, this is probably gonna be a controversial news to a lot of people. But in my opinion, I think it's a very exciting news because we're seeing the return of the GOAT. We're seeing the return of the man that put the MCU on the map in the first place in Iron Man, the first ever MCU movie that in my opinion still holds up today as one of the best MCU movies that Marvel had to offer, and that is Robert Downey Jr. He has returned to the MCU along with the Russo brothers officially returning to the MCU to officially direct Avengers 5 and Avengers 6. And a lot of things have been changed. And by me saying change, let me jump back to Robert Downey Jr. because Robert Downey Jr., his return is not as Iron Man. That may come to a shock to probably almost everybody because we saw Iron Man famously die in Avengers Endgame in one of the most emotional deaths I've ever seen. But we saw Iron Man die in that movie. So it comes to shock that he is actually not returning as Iron Man, but Robert is returning as a new character in the MCU, but as a character, if you know Marvel, you know Doctor Doom, man. And in my opinion, Doctor Doom is one of my favorite Marvel villains of all time. But Doctor Doom, he is Romania, you know what I mean? And Robert Downey Jr., I'm pretty sure he's not Romanian. But that's besides the point because since they're leading into the Secret War situation about the multiverse, he's probably playing a variant of Doctor Doom, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm a little bit iffy on it, but I do think it's very exciting. I do think it's very crazy. It's officially bringing the MCU back on the map. It's officially making Marvel movies must-see again, even though Deadpool and Wolverine is must-see right now, man. That movie is currently breaking a lot of records in terms of the box office. But we're seeing that now that Marvel is officially having many eyes on it because it's crazy news, man. We saw Robert Downey Jr. die as Iron Man. So why is he coming back as Doctor Doom? I don't really know, but I'm very excited for it. I want to see what's happening, and it officially shows that Kang has been written out due to Jonathan Majors' whole situation. That's crazy that to even talk about it will have to be a whole other video due to him basically being fired from Marvel. Now they had to rewrite everything. They had to pivot everything and change it from Kang to Doctor Doom. And I do think that's the right move if you want to do Secret Wars because Kang is mostly about time. He is multiversal in a way, but he mostly deals with time, while Doctor Doom in the Secret Wars event in 2016, not the original one but the second one, he was the main villain of that whole saga, you know, in that time. So I do think that will be pretty interesting to see. But the whole casting of Robert Downey Jr., I'm excited, but we'll just have to see. We'll just have to let it cook, in my opinion. And this whole thing, they announced a lot of things, in my opinion. We saw that the Fantastic Four are gonna be in both Avengers film, and I like that, in my opinion. Like, we're finally seeing the Fantastic Four on the big screen, you know. I know we saw them earlier in the early 2000s. Those movies, they're pretty nostalgic, but to be honest, they weren't really that good. So I do trust that this Fantastic Four movie will actually be good and not like that trash one that we saw in 2014 that was so ass, in my opinion. But we've seen a lot of stuff that's happening in the MCU. In my opinion, this is a crazy ass announcement. I do believe that the MCU is back. It's officially back on the map. Let's just see. Let's just let them cook. Let's just see what they cook up with the story, because the Russo brothers have directed some of the best movies to ever hit cinema. Not even in the superhero genre, I'm saying of all time. I do think I'll stand by that decision, you know. So we'll just have to see what happens, man. That's the end of the video. I'm out. Peace.